Hello, I'm Rashi Goel and I'm legal intern at LEXIS and Company. I hope all of you are doing great and staying safe and healthy. So the topic for my today's video is magazine Audi Alteram Partem. So the concept of natural justice has evolved through this magazine. Natural justice is a concept of civil law, which means a judgment that is given should be fair and reasonable. Equity and equality should be there, and this magazine means hear the other side, or no man should be left unheard. Both the parties have an opportunity of being heard, so justice will be given to both the parties. The motive of this magazine is to provide an opportunity to other parties to respond to their evidence against him. It is mainly applicable in the field of administrative action. The procedure which is adopted should be just and fair. The person should be given an opportunity so that he can defend himself before the court of law. The person who decides anything without hearing the other side, although he says what is right, but he would not have done what is right. The principle of hearing is basically a code of procedure and thus covers every stage through which an administrative jurisdiction passes, that is, from the notice to final determination. This theory covers the privileges of a defendant or its attorney to question the witnesses against him, or to have an equal chance to contest the facts provided by the other side, or to call one's own witnesses and to present proof, to provide representation, and if it is necessary at public expenses, so that in order to render a reasonable argument. Now further, let's talk about its element. So the first element is notice. Before any action is taken, the affected party must be given the notice to show cause against the proposed action and seek his explanation. It is an essential condition of right of a fair hearing. Any order which is passed without giving notice is against the principle of natural justice and is regarded as void ab initio, that means not legally binding. The right to notice means the right of being known. The right of being known, the facts of the issue, suit or case happens at the start of any hearing. Therefore, notice is must to start a hearing. Non-issuance of the notice or any defective service of the notice does not affect the jurisdiction of the authority but violates the principle of natural justice. Second is hearing. The reasonable opportunity of hearing, which is also known as fair hearing, is an important ingredient of an Audi Alteram Partem rule. This condition may be complied by the authority by providing a written or oral hearing, which is the discretion of the authority, unless the statute under which the action being taken by the authorities provides. Otherwise, it is the duty of the authority to ensure that the affected party to be given an opportunity of an oral or personal hearing if the context requires. Another important aspect of this maxim is evidence, which is to be brought properly before the court in the presence of both the parties, and a judicial or quasi-judicial authority must have to act on the evidence which is produced and not merely on any information which the authority may receive otherwise. The principle is not confined to formal evidence but extends to any material, including information regarding any previous conviction upon which the tribunal may act, and without giving any opportunity to the affected party to rebut it. Fourth is cross-examination. The adjudicating authority in a fair hearing is not only required to disclose the person concerned to the evidence or material to be taken against him, but he should also be provided an opportunity to rebut the evidences or material. The important question before the authority is that the witnesses should be cross-examined or not. So next element, that is fifth element, is legal representation. Genuinely, the representation through a legal advisor in the authoritative attribution isn't considered as an imperative piece of reasonable hearing. Be that as it may, in specific circumstances, in the event that the privilege to legal representation is not rejected, and at that point it adds up to the infringement of natural justice. Now let's discuss few case laws. First is Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. It was held in the case that the law and procedure must be fair, just and reasonable. The principle of natural justice come into force when no prejudice is caused to anyone in any administrative action. The principle of Audi Alteram Partem is the primary notion of the principle of natural justice. This doctrine states that no one shall be condemned unheard and ensures a fair hearing as well as fair justice to both the parties. Under this, both parties have the right to speak. No decision can be declared without hearing both the parties, and both parties are given equal rights to defend themselves. Second case is Jawaharlal Nehru University versus B.S. Narwal. In this case, a student of Jawaharlal Nehru University was expelled from the class without giving any pre-decisional hearing, just because of his unsatisfactory academic performance. The Supreme Court held that the idea of academic adjudication seems to be negative. In this way, if the skilled scholars, experts, look at the work which is crafted by the students over some duration and then declare his work unacceptable, then the principle of natural justice might be rejected. Now further, let's understand it with one more case law, that is S.A. Khan versus State of Haryana. In this case, Mr. Khan was at the post of Deputy Inspector General, Haryana, and was an IPS officer. He was suspended by the Haryana government because many complaints were made against him, and he filed a suit in the Supreme Court that he does not get an opportunity of being heard. In this case, the Supreme Court held that the suspension was because of an interdisciplinary approach and there is no requirement of hearing once. Thank you everyone for watching my video. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to let me know your feedback in the comment section. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy.